Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Iowa Speedway, where we're going to have a 90 laps feature event tonight. We are going to be kind of rushing through this really quick. Sorry for kind of having to rush through this real quick. We're going to send this down to do the national anthem, and then we're going to quickly go into qualifying. So, be right back.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Alrighty, welcome back, everybody, to Iowa Speedway, where we have a nice turnout tonight. We're going to be starting out with qualifying. We have quite a few people already out. We're putting out the first laps. We have Chris Carroll starting out with 2.51. We're going to have Tanner Marler coming out as well. We're just going to go straight ahead and go see what Chris Carroll is going to put up. So this track is going to be quite a fun one. We typically have had very good finishes here. We've had a couple photo finishes with the last couple of races we've had here. So we expect a nice race. It's going to be hot and slick. It will be, as Chris Carroll continues to be top of the board at 23.51. We have Brian Zimmerman, who's going to be taking the EOL for finishing first last week at Oxford. So as we continue on, we have people still on track. We have Ronnie Morrison. We have J.R. Schauber. We're going to keep an eye on him, see if he's going to go all the way to the bottom. He's going to see if he improves his time. He does not. Let's see, who else do we have? We have Tanner Marr, who's coming in. He said his time is 3.51. Is this his second lap? I believe this is his second lap coming up now. We have Brandon Mettler setting up a 2:23.53. Tanner's going to come in into turn 3. Let's see if he's going to keep pushing. He's going to get a nice wide arc. He's going to push his way out. He's going to hopefully not touch the outside wall. He's successful. Does he improve his time? He does not. He remains at 23.53 and stays at P4. We have Zach Murphy is going to start his first lap here. And as he comes to the green flag for his first lap, when he comes into all right, he actually completes his first lap is 23.7. Let's go inboard and see how he's taking his second lap here. He's going to come in and turn on the inside corner here. And he'll try to drift his way out. Let's see if he actually improves his time from a 23.70. He does improve it to a 23.63. And Larry Bell is also going to come across. So this should be his first lap as well. Larry Bell posts at 23.65, and he's going to continue on going to finish out his second lap here. I think he should be the last on the way out. As he almost completes his up, he comes to he has a 23.66, doesn't improve his time, so he stays. So we're going to And as Daniel Sweat is going to come out to complete his first lap, let's see what he does here. I think he's warming up them tires. Now, fun fact, Daniel Sweat, he stated that he's not a fan of Iowa. So we're going to see what he does tonight. We might even interview him in the middle of the race. We'll see how it goes. He says he's going to finish dead last, so we're going to hold him to it, see if he actually does finish dead last. Now, I'm also going to find out if this is a protest here. Looks like he's going. Oh, mate. You know what, folks? I'm feeling this is a little bit of a make sure he stays in the back and doesn't hurt anybody, but I will say this is an impressive time as it comes to the line here. Let's see what he does. He sets up does not improve his time. Maintains a 31.89. So we'll set up the grid here. So all right, so we have starting off here. We're going to start off here. So starting off P1, we're going to have Chris Carroll. P2 is going to round out the first row is going to be Brandon Mettler. And then P3 is going to be Chris Sapp. P4, Hunter Lagunas. P5, Tanner Marr, Mr. Tanner Marr, who doesn't show up ever. P6, Brody Mears. P7, Brad Carpenter. P8, Ronnie Morrison. P9, Zach Murphy. P10, Larry Bell. P11, Kyle Clark. P12, Jason Bauer. P13, J.R. Schomburg. P14, Scott Bryant. P15, Daniel Sweat. And rounding out the back row is Brian Zimmerman, who has to take a EOL because he's just too good at winning. So, as we wait for the cars to wind off of the pit road here, and we'll get started. How's everybody doing tonight? It should be a fun run. I was going to show you. Alrighty, so we're going to continue going on for this pace lap. So what we're going to do is we're going to show. So we have 90 laps here tonight on this almost 1 mile long oval track. Tack temperature is going to be 121 degrees. Air temperature is going to be 82 degrees, and wind's going to be coming out of the north at 2 miles an hour. So we shouldn't see too many issues with regards to wind causing some snap looseness. So mainly we're going to see tire degradation, see if that's going to be a major fall off. From what I understand, fuel is going to be somewhere around the neighborhood of 45 to 50 laps. So we'll see if people can save. This does have a propensity to go long, have long green flag stops. So we'll see if people have good pit stops, because those can catch off people as well. So before we get up, we'd like to thank our sponsors, USA Firearms and Tripods in the Wild, as well as Elite and BAM Motorsports. So as we're about to take the green flag here, thank you everybody. Let's have a fun race, and hope you guys enjoy the night. And Chris Carroll lead everybody off through the Geico restart zone, and we're off. Green, and we're off. Chris Carroll did a nice long lead. Gets a nice good jump, and he's going to be taking all the way down to the inside lane, and then we got two wide all the way in the back. So we're spreading out nice and even through the back here. As we go into turns 3 and 4, Chris Carroll just shuts the door, stays on the inside lane, and we're just going to try and work our way to the front. Looks like everybody gets away scot-free turn 1, and we're off. 1 lap completed, 1 lap in the books. Everyone's still jockeying for position. Chris Carroll safely up ahead. We have a big gumble in the back. Looks like they're going to jumble up the positions here. We have Zach Murphy make his way to the front. Larry Bell it's a big loser out of that one. He still is going back. We've got J.R. Schomburg, and we also have Kyle Clark fighting for the lead. We're going to have almost 2 to 3 wide. J.R. Schomburg hits the apron. That's going to push him into the back. That's going to give Jason Bauer away on the outside. Zimmerman in the background. You can see him in the background pushing forward. Let's go back to the forwards. Got Brody Mears, Hunter Lagunas, and Chat Sapp working for a 3-way gaggle here as Chris Carroll continues to work his way forward. Oh, we have one getting a little loose on the bottom. We have Hunter Lagunas. I think he's okay. Looks like he gathered it back up. Look like he just hit the inside bottom and he just had to grab it back up. So he's now just having to lose a lot of positions. So that kind of looks like that kind of settled everybody up front. Looks like we kind of have just a single file from back here. So we're just going to let them do their race because I think Chris Carroll and Metler are going to be just kind of riding just for a little bit. So let's see what's going on in these gaggles back here. We're just going to kind of rotate. We're just going to go on the gearboxes of these folks. This is the gearbox of Hunter Lagunas here. Off of Larry Bell. And we're going to continue going forward here. Looks like we're just kind of keeping it easy. Looks like Zimmerman. Let's see if Zimmerman's going to make his way forward. He's slowly making his way to the front. So our main 2 championship rivals right now is going to be Zach Murphy and Brian Zimmerman as 1 and 2. Zimmerman is minus 24 points to Murphy, so he needs as many points as he can get if he wants a chance at getting that glory. Otherwise, Zach Murphy's just going to walk away from it. So he's got a lot of ground to make up as we go forward in this little race. We also have Daniel Sweat in the back here, racing with Scott Bryant for P16, and it looks like he's doing a good job in maintaining his position quite well. I'm going to be going slow here, as he did state earlier in the podcast. So let's go back forward. We also have Larry Bell passing Ronnie Morrison for P7, excuse me. But we have a big gaggle coming up behind him, though. We have Zimmerman staying on the outside here. Zimmerman also looks like he's sending it almost 3 wide. He's going to get a massive run off this back road. Let's see if he gets blocked here. I don't think he does to an extent. And we're continuing and Zimmerman's just get a little loose. He got a little loose there. I'm sure he's getting a little frustrated. He's got to be a little frustrated. He's just wanting to get up front, but he just can't. He just can't find the run to be able to just get right on by. That's the hardest part here. Is like you can get massive runs running that outside lane, but if you get blocked here, you can just get stuck and you can have nowhere to go. But right now we're just kind of running single file here. Looks like just trying to bide your time. There's a big gap between Larry Bell and Zach Murphy. They're just you've got yourself almost a second lead here. And I'm sure Brian is looking for a little bit of a caution or something where he can kind of sneak his way in. Oh, we're 3 wide. We're almost touching. Oh, buddy. Oh, we made it out okay. Zimmerman had to pull out of that one. He thought he could just almost sent it in there and almost got it, but just couldn't get it. Just couldn't get it done. So he's gonna have to regroup and try again. So this is the biggest action that we've got right now is between this little gaggle of 4 between J.A. Schomburg, Brian Zimmerman, Kyle Clark, and you have Brad Carpenter coming in from behind. Let's go a little closer. Let's see what we've got here. Let's go in his cockpit, see what he's doing. All right, so he's going all the way to the bottom here. All right, he's got himself a little bit of a run, but J.R. Schomburg's going to get around the outside, but I think Zimmerman's going to run him high a little bit and then cut it low, and then he should get the run. Maybe. This is the hardest part about Iowa is that you just can't, it's hard to get a run. The outside lane is the preferred lane. So if you can learn how to get that outside lane to work well for you, you could get massive gains. But man, is it hard if you're running that low lane. It's just hard to go anywhere. So you just got to make that outside lane work for you. So right now, again, this is still the same. This is the biggest group of racing right now is right here. Everything else is kind of single file. Chris Carroll. We'll take a look at Chris Carroll and Brandon Mettler. They're still single file here. They're just kind of keep nip and tuck about a tenth. I don't know if, it's just either they're running or Carroll's just kind of managing his tires a bit, because that is also a thing here, because it is hot with 121 degree temperature here. It will be managing some tires here. You don't want to go full out because as this running progresses. So again, they're nip and tuck. We got Tanner bringing up the tail end of this lead pack with Zach Murphy kind of further on and just running his own race at the moment. He is not really kind of gaining against her or losing touch. So again, this is where this group back here just remains. This gaggle is going to be just the biggest racing group right here. Looks like Brian Zimmerman did manage to get past Schomburg, but Schomburg gave him a little bit of a bumper. I'm not sure if that's a little bit of an accident or if that was a little bit of a hey, I didn't appreciate that. But either way, Brian Zimmerman's going to continue to go forward and put his head down and keep going forward. Ronnie Morrison is up high. I'm not sure if he's a little bit low or he's a little bit off the pace. Zem's got the high preferred lane. He should be able to complete this pass here unless Ronnie Morrison is going to be extremely slow on this high side here. It seems like it's okay if is Zimmerman going to shoot the gap here. Well, we're going to continue going forward. So again, Zimmerman shoots it to the inside here. He's going to go underneath Ronnie Morrison. He's going to try and send it to the inside and try to maybe slide job Ronnie up at the end of the next straightaway here. Does he not have enough of a run? And he does. He has enough to clear him. And he's all right. So he's going to be able to continue on going forward. All right. So everything else looks like, and then we also have Carpenter and also going to take a run at Mr. Clark here. Going to take the inside. He's going to try to do the same exact move that Zimmerman did to Ronnie Morrison, but he's going to send it into the bottom and continue going forward. So just to recap, we're now 20 laps in, been green flag all the way through. We have Chris Carroll has been leading since lap 1 with Brandon Mettler and Chance Sapp, followed by Brody Mears, Tanner Marr, Zach Murphy, Larry Bell. So we're about almost halfway through the fuel run here. We're expecting a fuel run of 45 to 50 laps. We don't know exactly when they're going to pull into the pits. We'll see who's going to be the first one to do it, who's going to pull them in and see. We have, just as a summary, we kind of have only one person really off the pace, and that'll be Jason Bowers, who's about 10 seconds behind. Apologize, I didn't happen to see why he's that far behind. But up in our front, we have basically this three car group here that's kind of almost about a second in front of the next one. We also have Zach Murphy, I believe, has caught Tanner Marr. Or is that Tanner Marr on Brody Mears? That's Tanner Marr on Brody Mears. And I think Tanner is going to try and go for it here. I think he's slowly gaining on Brody. Let's take a look at from his roll bar. So he's gaining on him on entry here, and he's going to entry and exit. He's using a little bit of a draft. There is a significant draft here at Iowa. And he's going to go underneath them and send him on to the bottom. He's going to get a little bit squeezed, so he's going to have to kind of back out a little bit and regroup and do this all over again. So that's also one of the things. You can squeeze people here if you're careful, and you can, as long as you're respectful about it, people will understand. But you can see how Tanner just gains on Brody on entry. And one of the ways you can mitigate that is you can run the high lane here, and you can kind of just, if you can make it stick, you can run the high lane and just get a massive run and just pass him that way. But we'll see if Tanner will utilize this tactic, if he's just still run a high arc onto the inside lane. Oh yeah, he's got much of a, he's trying to push Brody a little bit. I do want to see if he actually tries to pull us to the outside lane. We'll just keep an eye on it. He's going to send it to the inside. He's going to get a run. He's going to continue getting that run, but we're going to go. See, it has allowed Zach Murphy to kind of catch up here. We'll see how this works. If Zach Murphy is going to just kind of go and just take those positions, or if he's going to try and help and push Tanner past Brody. Oh, he's going to go send it right underneath Tanner. We're going to see if Zach can make it stick. Looks like he cannot. He's going to have to pop in right behind. And we're going to continue to do this one more time. We're lap 28. Brody is now starting to push a little bit high, basically giving Tanner the bottom and basically daring him to pass him. And it looks like Zach is just going to take the high side. And let's see if he's going to take the high side and take that run. Tanner went for a slide. I'm not sure if that was a slide job block or how that worked out, but basically now we've got Zach Murphy on the inside. Tanner's on the outside. And you're going to go be passing for P5 here. And Brody is making his car as wide as Brian Newman does back in the old days. And man, oh man. This is letting the three cars up front just kind of pull away here. They're now almost getting close to a 2-second advantage against this group back here, but still they're still nip and tuck. So we're not going to follow too much. That's why we're not really following Carroll Metler and Sapp. It's just been this has been a good gap right here. We've got Zimmerman and Lagunas in the back as well, but these guys are just going back and forth, back and forth. And we may see a wreck here. I mean, as close as these guys are racing, we may see something. Let's go to his left rear, see what we get here. See how close these guys are getting. Oh, what a save from Tanner Marr. What a save. Tanner Marr was wheeling and dealing. I'm sure he's none too pleased about that when we saw that one live here at Crooked Light Racing. And we're going to continue going forward. So Tanner Marr is going to lose that position to Zach Murphy. And I'm pretty sure Tanner's going to try and get him up, get close, and maybe potentially move him. So let's see, going back, we got Larry Bell and Hunter and Zimmy trying to catch up to this group up here. And then we've got another group behind them. It's going to be Brad and Kyle Clark and Jared Sean. But we're now coming to lap 33 for everybody. Still been green since the green flag is dropped. So we're continuing to play the strategy game. Who's gonna try and save some fuel? Who's just been going full throttle the entire way? Who's gonna try and stretch it a little bit? Who's hoping for a caution? You know, you could get a caution here by missing pit road here. So looks like Murphy has gotten his way through mirrors as well, and he's now up to P4. He's now going to make his work. Oh, maybe not. They're still working. We're still working together here. So it looks like Brody and Zach Murphy are still making a battle here. So Zach Murphy is on the bottom. Brody Mears is on the top. So we're going to continue on following this battle here. Unless Chris Carroll and Metler get a little bit closer, but they're getting there. Well, let's take a peek. Let's take a peek. Metler is starting to get a little bit more aggressive toward the end of this run. So we're starting to approach the end of the first run here. We're on lap 36 out of 90. Remember, we got a fuel window of about 45 to 50 laps, so about right in there is where we're going to start expecting pit stops. We might see some people try to do a short pit and try to bring everybody down early and try to undercut, or we'll maybe see somebody do some overcuts. And Metler's still staying nick and tuck underneath Chris Carroll. He's still trying to just, I guess, save some tires for the end. Meanwhile, Zach Murphy and Brody Mears are still battling it out like it's the last lap here. Tanner Marr's just going to try and pick the scraps off of whoever ends up getting past here. He's just kind of sitting behind, just watching this battle develop. And speeds have now, they've now gone down. Remember, we had 23.53s when we started, and we're now running 24.22s. So speeds have dropped off here. So tires is now starting to become an issue. You're starting to see some folks that have still maintained a little bit, but at the stripe, 24.29, 24.28. So, you know, you can see we're still running around 24.2s. So we're going back. So Zach Murphy looks like has finally passed Brody. Oh, nope. This is just, I'm a feeling this is just going to be the back and forth. Brody is not going to yield an inch to Zach. He's going to make him fight for every inch. I believe, let's go back through the field here while these two battle it out, because we were going to assume they're going to battle it out for this corner as well. Yeah, looks like we got that as well. So we're coming back down. So we're going to go back down. We have Larry Bell, Hunter Lagunas, Zach Zemi, and Brad just in a pack of 4. And like I said, it is hard to pass, but if you can get that outside runs going, you can make it. Oh, Zemi just tagged the wall. You saw that one as well. Further back, you got Kyle Clark by himself trying to catch up to that pack of 4. You got J.M. Schamber, and you've got Daniel Sweat. Finally, it is caught J.R. Schamber. He's going to try and pass him for the inside for P13. So he's P2. Daniel Sweat, Mr. I'm going to be so slow today here. Iowa has been +2 from where he started today, with Brian Zimmerman being the biggest mover with +7, being starting from the back. And he's just stuck in this gaggle here. So all right, now we're gonna. So it looks like Chris Carroll's opened up a 2/10 lead over Brandon Metler. So we're gonna continue going forward. Lap 42, we're inching closer and closer and closer to that final, to the pit road, or to the pit window here. So Brody looks like he's finally had to yield his position to Zach Murphy. Zach Murphy got into the wall here. See if that hurts him at all. It shouldn't, is that little bit of tag, but it looks like Tanner's going to try and still use that low line and see, but it's not really effective yet. He's going to still try and send it here. Might be trying to get as much speed in on his in laps and utilize all that tire that he can. You'll most likely see people run a 2-tire pit stop here, because just to save on time, which will loosen them up. So we may see some people loop it as a forget that they are like that they have grip, and 2, it'll be loose grip. So it looks like we have a gaggle passing back here. We have one person we have Brody Mears, who missed pit window. He missed his pit, so he's going to be effectively in pain for the rest. So he missed the pit lane, so he may have a penalty here. We'll find out about that. We'll get you back to that one. Like Morrison also did the same. He missed his pit. So let's just take a look at pit lane. It looks like we'll just keep an eye on pit lane here. So we have one person coming in. We have Zach Murphy, Chance Sapp coming in. We have Chris Carroll is going to come in. Let's see if he takes his pit on lap 46. No, he's going to continue on with Brandon Metler, so they continue going forward. So let's see if anybody else comes in here, which is such an awful. So like everyone keeps going here. So we're no takers this time by. So Chris Carroll's going to continue with Brandon Metler, who's going to see if he can sneak in, or if he's just going to try do the opposite of what Chris Carroll's going to do. And they're going to continue on. They're going to skip one more time. So they're going to go to lap 48 here. We have Brian Zimmerman who's going to be finally in the pits. We do have a wreck. We have a caution. So let's see. Hunter Lagunas has crashed. So let's see what we had here. So here we are. So we've got Brian Zimmerman who's going to be on the inside. Let's see, he's going to be coming in. It looks like he just slowed down. Let's see, what did he just slow down? No, I don't have anything like that. Can't do anything there. Let's see, what do we have here? Let's take a look from his cockpit here. Did he just try to make pit road and just couldn't make it? Yeah, he just tried to go to pit lane from the top lane and just kind of got ridden from behind. That is unfortunate. Brought out the caution here. And that looks. So that is unfortunate for Brian Zimmerman. Is that timing is just awful? I believe that trapped him one lap down, or he's going to put him all to the back. I don't know if this is a black flag. I honestly do not know. Let me bring him up here and we'll find out. Mr. Brian Zimmerman, this is Alex Harris in the booth. You got a copy. So tell me, how close did you make it or did you not make it? On pit road. Uh, yeah, I mean, oh, that's unfortunate, Sam. That, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Sammy. We'll figure it out, and hopefully, you do get away with it. And if not, well, I hate to wish it for everybody else. Hopefully, you get a caution, you can get your lap back. All right, see you later. All right, so that was Brian Zimmerman, who just wrong place, wrong time, had to pit. He pitted and just didn't quite make it. So he's going to the back. He's the first car one lap down. So looks like we'll have Zach Murphy, Brody Mears, and Ronnie Morrison and Chance Sapp get a wave around here. Nope, looks like Brody Mears is going to the back. But it looks like Brandon Mettler made it out of the pits. Let's go back and figure out what happened on the pits because it looks like we're not to the green yet. I don't know if I can go back that far. That'll be unfortunate. We'll keep that in mind. We're gonna note that and see how Brandon Mettler got out of the pits probably later today. Like toward the end of the race, we'll see how he made it through. Now we're gonna see. So Carroll hasn't led it. He's been led at every single lap until here. So he's had the benefit of having clear air and being able to just stick his nose in. So he hasn't had to race behind somebody in dirty air. So we're going to see whether or not it's going to be an issue for him. So it's see whether or not the clean air will be of benefit to Mettler. So coming out of the pits, out of that cycle, because of the caution, we have Brandon Mettler coming out P1, Chris Carroll P2, Tanner Marr P3, Daniel Sweat, Mr. I'm So Slow P4 or P5, Larry Bell P4, J.R. Schomburg P6, Kyle Clark P7, Scott Bryant P8, Hunter Lagunas P9, Jason Bauer P10. And then rounding out the lead lap cars is going to be Brad Carpenter. So here we go. This is lights are off on the pace car. And the pace car is off. We're going to see where, and Mettler has control, and we're off. Green. He gets a mega jump off of Chris Carroll. So he's going to already a 3/10 right off the gap. That's a big gap just to start. So that's got a lot of work for Chris Carroll to do. So as we go on to the back stretch here, we're going to have Larry Bell, Tanner Marr going to be working in the back. We have a big old gap in the back, but Brian Zimmerman's going to have to just ride it out here and just hope for a caution. I mean, him and Zach Murphy are in the same way. Looks like Mettler has just dropped all the way to the bottom just to kind of break the draft, break that toe, which is kind of smart of him because there is a toe here and he can stay at the top. He can get a big enough toe. We're going to drop to a little bit of the pack here. We're going to see Tanner Marr and J.R. Schomburg. We have a big aggle in the back here. So Zimmerman's trying to make sure he stays in front of Brody Mears because he needs to make sure he gets the lucky dog here. Because if we get a caution, we may or may not get a caution. So he's got to stay in front. He's got to stay in front of everybody to make sure. So Tanner Marr staying on the inside here. J.R. Schomburg's up top. We're starting to single file out here, which is not good news for our cars that get stuck one lap down. So this is Mettler's pitting. Oh, never mind. Oh, I had had a mini heart attack. It showed Metler is pitting. I was so confused here. Showing Metler as pit, but he's still in P1. So don't worry, folks. We're still going here. We have Tanner Marr, who finally took it to the outside here. Nobody tags the outside wall. Looks like he should be okay. He tagged it, but it didn't hit it too hard. Doesn't seem like it. All right, so he's going to continue on. Going to be on the outside. We're good. He's going to get a nice long run, so he should hold on to P4 here. So, and then now Tanner Marr's going to come by, and now we're going back. Now Daniel Sweat's taking it to the outside here. J.R. Schomburg's going to wash up a little bit. We had somebody behind him also wash up a little bit. Who was that? We had, it looked like, we had Kyle Clark get washed up into, and that created a hornet's nest for folks to kind of maneuver their way through. So now we're going to be almost 2-3 wide going in the back here as people gather things back up. We have a one rowdy battle back here, and it is a hornet's nest back here. If we're going to see an accident, it's going to be out of these group back here, just by how close these guys are racing. Somebody got into the wall here. Looks like we're going to get away scot nice and clean. Oh, we had a checkup as well, but everyone is driving well. They're driving smartly. They're not getting in each other. We're going to keep going. Brody Mears drops it to the inside of Ryan Clark. He's going to try and keep going. He's going to try and get close to Zimmer. Oh, he washes up in front. Ooh. And everyone saves it. We keep on going. We're good. Up in front, we have Tanner Marr and Daniel Sweat racing at it. Chris Carroll is falling back to a half second gap to Brandon Metler. So we're going to continue to go back toward this big group back in the back here. Just this big race in the back here. Just trying to make, we got people trying to make, hey, Kyle Clark tags the wall a little bit, it looks like, and then underneath him, we got Jason Bauer. We were 3 wide. Oh, they touch it. We're good. We're still good, but so we're now, and then it looks like Kyle Clark's going to continue on, like Jason Bauer sticks to the bottom. And we are good. So something happened to Tanner Marr. He must have gotten to the wall. He's now still on the outside. We got he's now by J.R. Schomburg. As Daniel Sweat continues to push forward, and he's losing time to Schomburg. Lagunus is kind of helping and pushing Tanner out a little bit here. So we're going to go toward the front here. Like Brandon, JR runs Tanner into the wall here. Hopefully Tanner's not too damaged out of that one. That's probably a couple times I've seen him hit the outside wall. So you can tag the wall here, but you can only do so much. Eventually your car will start running out of damage here, and Tanner tries to send it into there, and he's going to pick it on the inside here. He's going to try and work his way to the top, and he was loose on exit here. So he's going to continue up, going past lap 65. He's going to take the high lane. He's going to try and diamond this corner. We've got Hunter Lagunas underneath him, who was the one who brought out the only caution that we've had today for cause. But so far we are good. So Tanner is going to continue going forward. Looks like he's just got his tires hot. He's going to try and just regroup and then come right back a little bit later. We are now 25 to go. Brandon Metler is now a full 0.6 of a second ahead of Chris Carroll, who's with Larry Bell behind him at P3 for the last of the podium places, defending against Daniel Sweat for the last of P3. And Daniel Sweat is making hay. He's made 11 positions, and he looks like he's going to take the inside of Larry Bell, going all the way to the bottom here. He's going to see if he's going to slide up. But does he have the momentum to keep it up and just keep running? We'll find out. Let's go to his roll bar, and he's going to take it to the inside here. We got that. We're going to have. Larry Bell's going to have a nice long run here. And he takes it to the inside here. We're going to have Larry Bell still to his outside, and looks like he can slide him up, and he's got him. Is Larry Bell going to come over for the crossover? No, we're not. Oh, maybe. No, he is not. So it looks like Daniel Sweat has secured the P3 position, and he's going to continue on. We're now 2:22 to go. And Chris Carroll has closed the gap a little bit. We're now at 0.3 of a second. So I'm not sure if Chris Carroll was saving his tires a little bit for the end, and now he's pushing a little bit, or Mettler is just managing his equipment. So as things are coming along, so right now we have Brian Zimmerman at P12 at 1 lap down, but still ahead of Zach Murphy. So he still gets a couple points here and there. So yeah, maybe a little bit. Remember, for the overall championship battle, Zimmerman's only down by 24 points. So every little point matters, especially as we're winding down the season here. Chris Carroll is making a run for Brandon Mettler. Mettler got into the wall there, so that's going to let Carroll get real close to it. We're going to stick with him real quick. Otherwise, we're going to run through the field real quick. At 20 to go, you know what? Actually, we're going to do it side by side. So we'll be right back.
With the whole shot. Burrows gets wadded up right there. We got a nasty one. 3 laps here. We're underway here at Horsepower Bar.
All right, you saw it here. You saw a little wreck between Tanner Marr and Jared Schomburg. Didn't quite catch why we had a wreck, but it looks like Tanner pulled it into the pit lane here. He's 1 lap down currently. It looks like he is still back on track. We stayed green, so it looks like we're going to keep on going. But we also saw Chris Carroll hit the apron a little bit, got way loose, and had to get out of the gas here. And had to regroup, so it really ruined the momentum, so he's going to have to regroup and try to make his way to the front. So essentially, it looks like Chris Carroll may still have a shot. It'll be a lot closer than what he probably would want. He probably wanted to kind of pass a little bit early, make his way to the end, and just pull away here. But we've come to 12 to go here. He's pulled away from Daniel Sweat, and Sweat has pulled away from Larry Bell, who was P3 but now P4. So Chris Carroll's gonna be 0.2, probably about maybe 1/4 of a second behind Brandon Mettler on the stripe. If I were to wager a guess here. As we come to 11 to go, Chris Carroll is making hay here. Let's go to Chris Carroll's point of view. Let's take it from his nose and see just what it looks like from his point of view. Like right up from the nose here. So it looks like Chris Carroll is just kind of carrying a lot of speed. Looks like Brandon Mettler is losing a little bit on exit. That kind of get him, and that's getting him a lot of speed. And Chris Carroll's just going to right up to his bumper. He's going to send it low. Mettler's going to just kind of shut that door right for him. So he's going to have to kind of get off the gas here and just kind of get forward. Let's take a look at their lap times here. So we have a second caution. We have our second caution. We have looks like we had Brody Mears who happened to get loose here. What ended up happening here? Brody Mears is coming out of the backstretch and just kind of went in down in the bottom. Oh, he caught the apron. Oh, he caught the apron. Oh, that's a. Oh, man. That is not what Brandon Mettler wanted to see here. But it is exactly what Brian Zimmerman wanted to see. Now, granted, everybody did take tires, but it did bring the field back together. So if you wanted to full send this thing, you could. So let's bring up Brian Zimmerman back up into the broadcast booth and see how he's feeling now that he's got his reprieve, even though it's a little bit late here. Hey, Mr. Zimmerman, this is Alex in the booth. You got your reprieve. What are your thoughts? All right, I'm glad to see you. I just wanted to kind of see what you're just like. Say, hey, good luck. Hopefully, you manage to get some positions back. I know you were praying for a caution and you got it. So, all right, Talk to you later. See you at the end. All right, so that was Brian Zimmerman. We're gonna bring up Chris Carroll up here and see if see what his thoughts are on the very end here while we're on this. All right, there's Chris Carroll. Hey, Chris Carroll, this is Alex in the booth. You got a copy? I know you were catching Brent Mettler right at the very end there. I know you also happened to looked like you caught the apron or you got really loose, but you got a reprieve. What's your thoughts of going into this last green flag stop? Well, I've noticed, just saying, there is a high lane. If you can make the high lane stick, you get a massive run. You can gain a lot of time. You can make it stick. All right, we'll send you back, and good luck, Chris. All right, that was Chris Carroll. Unfortunately, I was going to try and grab Mettler, but we're going to be going to green here with 5 to go. So we're going to have a 5-lap shootout for the end. Oh boy, that's been a problem all day. Thank you for catching that up, TX. Appreciate it. I wish I had known that. Hopefully now you can hear this entire stream has been muted and I did not know it. That has been awesome. That has been so awesome. So we're gonna have a 5-lap shootout. Now that you can hear things, this ought to be interesting. All right, pace car is off here. We're going to see what we can get. We're going to have, looks like Brandon Mettler goes early. He's going to get himself a big lead, just like Chris Carroll predicted, but he's going to have less of a better jump here. Chris Carroll's going to try and see if he's going to sit high and just send it. We got 3 laps to go, so not quite a green-white checker, and we are off. Let's see if Chris Carroll can... Chris Carroll's going to be up high. He's going to continue going forward, but Daniel Sweat's going to try to go for P2 here. It looks like we got 2 laps to go, unless we get a catch a caution here at the very end. We're going to stay at this. We're going to stay this high. It looks like Larry Bell. It looks like Brad Carpenter thought about sending it too wide there. And we're going to continue forward. It looks like Chris Carroll's going to hold on to P2, and it looks like Mettler's, barring anything significant, is going to hold on to P1. As Chris Carroll digs to the bottom, we have 3 wide in the back for the P4. Larry Bell has to develop the position. He's going to continue to go forward. He's going to push, and looks like Candy's going to try to go underneath Hunter. No. And then we got Brandon Mettler coming out of 4, taking the checkered flag. P1, P2, Chris Carroll, P3, Daniel Sweat, Hunter Lagunas, Brad Carpenter, excuse me, Larry Bell, Bauer, Kyle Clark, and J.R. Schomburg, and Brian Zimmerman round out your top 10. Scott Bryant, Zach Murphy, Ronnie Morrison, Chance Sapp, Brody Mears, and Tanner Marr round out your end. So apologies for being so far out in left field that you couldn't hear the engine noises, but well, c'est la vie. So Mettler takes his P1. Daniel Sweat, who admittedly said he wasn't going to do well tonight, finishes P3. We're going to razz him a little bit. We'll and Mettler gets his donuts in. All right, so as we finish up here, let's grab Mr. P3 here. Mr. Daniel Sweat. So, Mr. Daniel Sweat, this is Alex Harris in the booth. You got me? Got a copy? So, you were saying you were going to finish dead last. I'm sure. You said you're not good at Iowa, but you proved otherwise. You were pretty strong all the way through. So I guess walk me through your race. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Especially when I saw that heater of a lap he put down in qualifying. So yeah, to come out P3 after that heater of a qualifying lap, good job, man. So congratulations on your P3. Yeah, exactly. Is there anybody else you want to shout out? All right, thank you very much, Zane. So we'll drop back. All right, so now we're gonna bring in Chris Carroll, who's again P2. We kind of talked to him right before that last restart, but we'll bring him back in. Hey, Chris, this is Alex. You got a copy? So, like you called it, Mettler got a big old jump and you tried to do as much as you could, but was just nothing. Yeah, nothing for him. So. All right, fair enough. It's anyone you want to shout out or thank? Yeah, no problem, man. So, all right, well, have a good evening, and we'll catch you on the next time you're racing, man. Yep. All right, and finally, we're gonna bring in Brandon Mettler, our P1 and our number one for the night, Mr. Brandon Mettler. How does it feel to be the winner for the night? Oh yeah. So walk me into that last final caution. I know that last caution, I'm pretty sure that was the last thing you wanted to see there, because you had I mean, Chris was making a long run charged, and he got almost right to your bumper. Were you excited because knowing that you could get a jump, or were you kind of going, oh well, it's done. I'm the sitting duck. All right. Well, congratulations again. Anybody want to shout out? Yep. Yeah. So, all right. Well, congratulations again. Hopefully we'll see you next week, and hope and get to do it all over again. You'll be back here being interviewed again as the winner. So, all right. All right. Have a good night. All right, folks. Thank you very much for being here on behalf of Crooked Line Racing USA Firearms and Tripods in the Wild. Thank you for spending the night here. I know that I had a little bit of a hiccup with not having sounds all the way at the up until lap 85. That's my fault. I apologize. But again, if you were here, appreciate it. And we'll catch you again next week. Next week is scheduled to be, give me 1 second here. Scheduled to be at Richmond. So we should be just another barn burner just like this. So hopefully we'll be showing up here at Richmond next weekend. I hope you guys will be here, and the broadcast will go a little bit better, a little bit smoother. So until then, till next Wednesday, see you then.